The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hey, now, welcome back, everybody. It is Wednesday, March the 26th, and you know what it's time for? Hey, it's Where Are They Now Wednesdays here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everybody has a home field advantage. Certainly glad you tuned in today, and as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Hey, this is episode 50 here, and a reminder that you're watching the original Where Are They Now Wednesday. Don't be fooled by the Johnny-come-latelys or any other imposters who have now fallen by the wayside. Playing on Sports and the Missouri Sports Network are your sources for not only what Missouri high school talent does in high school, but what they do on the national stage of the NCAA. No one has more information for you than we do, and we really appreciate your attention. Hey, I need you to do me a favor. You ain't got to tell 2 friends. Just tell 1 friend this week. Hey, go to our YouTube page and subscribe. Go to our Facebook page and like us on Facebook. Hey, pass it along. Hey, you want to be the smartest fans in the stands? Hey, you need to follow Scoreboard Guy Playing on Sports and the Missouri Sports Network. And if you got any comments or questions, or maybe you have an athlete of the week or a Missouri milestone, hey, send us those emails as well. Hey, are you ready? Hey, Kent's done his homework once again. Kent, what did we do last week and what's coming up?
Well, last week we looked at Missouri athletes who earned postseason honors in their conference, but we spent most of our time looking at the athletes, both men and women, who are leading their teams onto the court at the NCAA D1, D2, and D3 championships, and more right after this commercial message.
The Walnut Street Inn is located in the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammons Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetin.com or call 417-864-6346.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports.
Hey, welcome back to Where Are They Now Wednesdays here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Presented by the Bank of Billings, established in 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. All right, Kent, well, where are we going? Where are we starting off with this week? I imagine maybe a state champion and a Gatorade Player of the Year.
That's right. Each week it can be difficult to decide what to cover or even where to start when we decide what to cover. That is true even more so this week. Let's start by taking a Gatorade break. Gatorade has announced their basketball players of the year for each state. The 2024-25 Gatorade Missouri Boys Player of the Year is Scotty Atkinson. He's a sophomore guard out of Webster Groves. Yes, I did say sophomore. By Gatorade's judgment and many others, the best boys high school basketball player in Missouri is a sophomore. The 6'3" guard led his statesmen to a 26 7-5 record and the Class 5 state championship. Scotty averaged 24 points, over 5 rebounds, over 3 assists, and over 2 steals per game. An excellent shooter, Scotty shot over 60% from the field, including over 40% from beyond the three-point line. We look forward to following his collegiate career, but first, we'll be following the second half of his high school career. Gatorade doesn't just honor boys. This is also the 40th year of Gatorade Players of the Year for girls basketball. This year's Gatorade Missouri Girls Basketball Player of the Year is Addison Bourne. She is a junior guard out of Park Hill South. Yes, a junior. Both Gators from Missouri are underclassmen. Addison led her Panthers to a 28-1 record this season. She did so by averaging 22 points, 11.5 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and 3.3 steals per game. After 3 of her 4 high school seasons, Addison has scored 1,636 points. That puts her in the top 500 all-time girls' career scorers in Missouri on the Missouri Milestones list. More about that Missouri Milestone list later in this podcast. Gatorade isn't the only national company or organization to honor the country's best basketball players. There's also the Jersey Mike's Subs Naismith High School All-America team. They named 5 athletes each for the first, second, and third teams, and they named 15 as honorable mention. Of course, that means you have to be in the top 30 in the country to even get a mention anywhere on the list. Missouri has one of those. Again, it's Addison Bourne. Yes, that Addison, the junior guard at Park Hill South High. We could talk all day about Addison's achievements. We can note that she was a member of the USA Basketball Under-17 women's national team that won gold at the World Cup last summer. And I'm sure we will be revisiting Addison and her success for years to come. But right now, we will watch her senior year in high school before we see her on a college court. Let's switch up the sports for a bit. We will come back to basketball. There was an outstanding collegiate softball game this last week, and Missouri talent had a lot to do with a stunning upset in Division I softball. The University of Missouri is 18-5 overall so far this season, and they are 1-5 in the Southeastern Conference play. But that one conference win, that came on Saturday, and that was against the defending national champion, the number 1 ranked and previously undefeated Oklahoma Sooners. Who got this done for Missouri? Julia Cranshaw is a senior catcher out of Fort Zumwalt West. From her leadoff spot, she went 1 for 2 and drew for a walk. The starting pitcher, who moved her season record to 7 wins and 4 losses, was Sierra Harrison. Sierra is a junior out of Lee Summit North. In this big start and win, she pitched 4 innings, got 3 strikeouts, gave up 3 hits, and no runs. Coming in relief was Taylor Pinnell, a lefty out of Lee Summit West. She pitched the final 3 innings, giving up 2 hits while striking out 3. That earned Taylor her first save for the season. Julia not only leads off, but leads the Tigers in batting at .374. She also leads her Tigers in runs, hits, doubles, total bases, and slugging percentage, despite being the most walked Tiger. She is also a perfect 5 for 5 on the base paths. Sierra Harrison's win gives her 7 for the season, tied for most on the team. That win over Oklahoma dropped the Sooners out of first in Division I, being replaced by Texas, who has propelled the Longhorns into their number 1 ranking. That would be Ashton Maloney, another Missouri-grown Division I leadoff batter. The redshirt junior out of Liberty is batting a team-leading .490 for Texas. She also leads in at-bats and hits. On the mound for Texas is Mac Morgan, the senior out of Sherwood. She is 5-1 for the year. We will dip back into basketball for a Missourian setting a program record for her school. That would be Serena Sundell, the Kansas State senior out of Maryville. I will review all of the Missourians on that winning team later in this podcast. But now I want to highlight Serena's career-long achievement. Kansas State defeated Kentucky on Sunday on their way to the Sweet 16. Key in that 1-point overtime win was the former Spoofhounds' 14 assists. That is a big number, but not as big as 801. That is Serena's career total assists which is the most in Kansas State women's basketball program history.
Yeah, outstanding information there, Ken, as you look at some of the other milestones. And right now we're working on the career milestones list in Missouri with 1,000-point career scores. What is this all about when you talk about the milestones? It's obviously it's the recognition. We've gotten to visit with and connect to a lot of coaches and even some players from back over history. But what is it about, and where can people find the list?
Missouri Milestones is our overall name for our ambitious project to build and maintain the largest list of all-time high school career statistics. We have started out by building lists of both boys and girls who have scored 1,000 points in their Missouri high school careers. We want to go back and get as many as possible since high school basketball got started. We want these on a central list before some of them get lost, and for there to be one central place for families and fans to go and see them all. We also are adding the new entries as they occur each season. When someone has crossed that threshold, we add them to the list, noting that it is a number in progress. We now have over 1,500 on the two lists combined. We don't know how many we will have, but we do know it's a lot more than 1,500, and that the list will forever be growing for as long as we play high school basketball here in Missouri. There are many notable athletes out there on these lists. I had just mentioned Serena Sundell out of Maryville having set the K-State career assist record. Incidentally, she has scored more than 1,500 points as a Wildcat. Serena is on our list with 2,358 points scored as a Spoof Hound. Sixth on our boys list is Crystal City graduate Bill Bradley. While a Hornet, he scored 3,068 points. He went on to Princeton, where he scored another 2,503 points. While a pro in the NBA, he added another 9,217. That is a total of 14,788 points as a Crystal City Hornet, Princeton University Tiger, and New York Knick. Fifth on our girls list is another athlete I've mentioned on previous podcasts. Brooke Luttrell is a 2019 graduate of Green City High. She just wrapped up her collegiate career by scoring 115 points this season as a graduate student for the Creighton Blue Jays. That was after 4 seasons at Central Missouri, where she scored 2,046 points as a Jenny. That was all after her Green City career, when she scored 3,216 points. That is 5,377 points in her high school and collegiate careers. And of course, you don't have to score that many to be on the list. 1,000 points is the threshold. Waylon Masters, a 2011 graduate of Dora High, scored 1,001 points in his excellent high school career. We recognize and honor all those who have scored 1,000.
And just being about a month into this, once we got that launched and got the Google Sheets locked up, to have 1,500 on that list is amazing. And you mentioned a Bill Bradley, who, a little known fact, is still the all-time single game scoring leader in NCAA Final Four history when he scored 53 points for Princeton before going on into the NBA. And Kent, what are some of maybe the earliest entries on this list?
Well, I'm sure we will get to be able to go back further, but the earliest on our boys list right now are 2 Missourians. Eddie Ronsick graduated from Washington High in 1953, having scored 1,692 points. In that same year, Lionel Smith completed his high school career at University High in Madison with 2,475 points.
Well, if folks said, hey, you want to find this list, you can go to our Twitter accounts. They're pinned at the top. You can go to MissouriSportsNetwork.com as well and see those lists. And there are still ways that people can help, whether you're a parent, whether maybe you belong on this list, or maybe an athletic director or a former coach that knows of someone that's not on that list. How can people help?
Well, all they have to do is just contact me at plainonsports@gmail.com. That's plainonsports@gmail.com. Now, before we move on from the Missouri Milestones, let's hear from another sponsor of ours.
I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So
toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days.
Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck. And a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together, we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Hey, welcome back to Where Are They Now Wednesday here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And another week of basketball in the books. Where are we going now?
Well, there's been another week of basketball, that's for sure, since we last discussed what Missouri athletes were doing in the NCAA tournaments. And a lot has happened in that week. I want to start out with Division III women's basketball. That championship game was played this weekend. Not only was there a Missourian on the court, that game concluded a very remarkable basketball career. Natalie Bruns is a graduate student forward out of Kirkwood High, playing at New York University in the University Athletic Association. Natalie is a graduate student at NYU, but it is important to point out that she just completed her 4th year of competition, not her 5th year, as is the case with many who are competing as graduate students. Yes, she was in college during the COVID year, but it didn't get her any more games in which to compete. NYU didn't compete at all that year, so Natalie competed on the court for 3 years as an undergrad and 1 as a postgrad. And what has she done? I have mentioned before that she is the all-time program leader in block shots. She accomplished that midway through her 3rd year on the court. She ended her career with a record of 112 wins and only 5 losses. Her last loss was as a second-year player. A year ago, she led NYU to an undefeated national title in Division III. This year, again, she led NYU to an undefeated national title. She is leaving her underclassmen teammates a 62-game winning streak. I said she led NYU to those titles. Is that true? Was that hyperbole, or did she actually lead them? Well, she led them. She is a 3-time first-team All-America selection. She is now a 2-time Division III Player of the Year. That is rare enough, but let's add in some academic recognition. The college sports communicators have yet to announce their awardees for this year, but they know who Natalie is. They have already named her as an academic All-American for 2 years, and last year she was their #1 selection for academics. It's entirely possible for those 2 awards to be granted again this year. Now let's see where we are in the men's Division I tournament. Ryan Kalkbrenner of Trinity Catholic has anchored the baseline for Creighton for 5 years. He had 14 points and 6 rebounds in the Blue Jays' first round defeat of number 8 seeded Louisville. He was his customary 6 for 8 from the floor. However, Creighton fell to number 4 seed Auburn in the round of 32. Ryan scored 18 while pulling down 7 rebounds. Iowa State was upset in the round of 32 by Mississippi. That ended the season for Caden Fish of Staley, Conrad Holly of Ray Peck, and Keyshawn Gilbert of Vashon. Both Caden and Conrad got in the round of 64 win over Lipscomb, with Caden scoring 3 points. The Iowa State win over Lipscomb brought the season to an end for Miles White a junior guard out of Rockhurst High, now at Lipscomb. Miles scored 5 points in 5 minutes against Iowa State. The Arizona Wildcat fans are loving the Christian Brothers grad named Caleb Love. The Wildcats are alive and well, heading into the Sweet 16 in no small part to Caleb. He scored 10 points, made 4 assists, and grabbed 7 rebounds in their easy win over Akron. In Arizona's round of 32 win over Oregon, Caleb went full throttle, scoring 29 points on 10 of 18 shooting from the field, including 5 of 7 from three-point range. He also tossed in 4 of 4 from the line, made 4 more assists, and grabbed 9 rebounds. Virginia Commonwealth lost in the round of 64 to the number 6 seed BYU. Vashon graduate Philip Russell started that game for VCU, finished with 2 points and 2 assists. Luke Northweather, a redshirt sophomore out of Blair Oaks, had his season ended in the round of 64 when his Oklahoma Sooners fell to UConn 67-58. Colorado State very nearly slipped that Cinderella slipper all the way on. In the round of 64, they defeated number 5 seed Memphis 78-70. They were led by a sophomore guard out of Staley by the name of Kyan Evans, a former Missouri Gatorade Player of the Year. In that game, he scored 23 points on 7 of 11 shooting from the field, including 6 of 9 from beyond the arc, and he added 4 assists. That slipper was all but on in the closing seconds of the Rams' round of 32 game with number 5 seed Maryland. The Terps finally prevailed 72-71. Kyan grabbed 4 rebounds and scored 10 points, which included 2 of 4 shooting from three-point range. The Cinderella slipper almost stayed on for another team, the Drake Bulldogs. In the round of 64, the 6 Missourians who occupy spots on the Drake roster blew past number 6 seed Missouri. In that game, Liberty High grad Bennett Sturtz dropped in 21 on 8 of 11 shooting, including 3 of 3 from three-point range. He also added 4 assists. And adding to the win from Missouri High School was Cam Manawu. The sophomore out of Staley scored 7 and got 4 rebounds. Daniel Abreu, the graduate student out of Willard, scored 4 and got 3 boards. Isaiah Jackson, also a grad student, but out of Chrisman, scored 3 and made 3 assists. Isaiah Howard, a true freshman out of Plattsburgh, made the most of his 17 minutes by scoring 7 by making 3 of 4 from the floor. Cale Combs is a sophomore out of Nixa who scored 4, grabbed 5 rebounds, and made 4 assists. And similar to Colorado State, the slipper slipped off in the round of 32. Drake and the Missourians fell to number 3 seeded Texas Tech. Bennett Sturtz with his 21 points and 8 assists. Daniel Abreu scored 15, Cam Manawu 2, Isaiah Jackson 2, Cale Combs 13, while Isaiah Howard contributed an assist. Drake commanded national attention the last half of the season. Those 6 young men are the reasons why. The University of Kansas fell to number 10 seed Arkansas in the round of 64. Closing out his career as a Jayhawk was DeJuan Harris Jr. out of Rockbridge. DeJuan scored 8 and made 7 assists. On the Arkansas squad of that round of 64 game was Trevon Brazil, a junior out of Kickapoo. Trevon helped his Razorbacks defeat Kansas by scoring 11 and completing his double-double with 12 rebounds. That propelled Arkansas into the round of 32 against number 2 seed St. John's. This time the slipper fit and stayed on. Trevon helped Arkansas into the Sweet 16 with his 8 points and 8 rebounds. The University of Nebraska at Omaha represented the Summit Conference as a 15 seed against St. John's. Tony Osborne, a junior guard out of Mound City, scored 9 points and grabbed 3 rebounds for the Mavericks. Xavier started the tournament with a win over number 11 Texas before bowing out in the round of 32 to Illinois. On that Musketeer roster was Cam Fletcher, a graduate student out of Vashon. Southern Illinois at Edwardsville had tough duty as the 16 seed that faced Houston in the round of 64. On the floor for the Cougars was Brian Taylor II, a junior guard out of DeSmet. Brian shared the team high with 10 points. He also got 4 rebounds and an assist. And it is possible that he will get to say that he competed against the national champion. Time will tell on that. In the women's Division I tournament, Baylor was a number 4 seed. Their round of 64 matchup was with Grand Canyon, with the Bears winning 73-60. Bella Fauntleroy, a junior guard out of Kickapoo, came close to a double-double with 9 points and 9 rebounds. That, of course, ended Grand Canyon's season, but not the Kickapoo connections. Grand Canyon's coach is Molly Mueller, or was. Soon after that game, Molly took the head coaching position at Arizona State. Like Bella Fauntleroy, Molly Mueller is a graduate of Kickapoo High. As Molly moves to Tempe, Bella moved on to the round of 32, where Baylor fell to the number 5 seed, Mississippi. Bella closed out her junior year by scoring 4, making 2 assists, and grabbing 9 rebounds as the Bears fell 69-63. North Carolina Greensboro entered the tournament as a number 16 seed. That put them on the court with the overall number 1 seed, USC. The game went as expected, but Tasia Johnson, a junior guard out of Lee Summit West, got the start for the Spartans as they ended the season with a successful 25-7 record. And speaking of Tasia Johnson and her Missouri milestones, just this morning, I heard from Jim Oliver, the athletic director at Lee Summit West, and he gave me 6 names of ladies from Lee Summit West, former Titans, who each scored 1,000 or more points in their career. Tasia is 3rd on the Lee Summit West list with, let me check, 1,260 points. Congratulations to her, and thanks to Jim Oliver for sending that information in. Mississippi State entered the tournament by facing number 9 seed California. Chandler Prater, a graduate student out of North Kansas City High, helped the Bulldogs into the round of 32 by scoring 4 points by going a perfect 4 for 4 from the line and grabbing 4 rebounds. I mentioned earlier in this podcast how Serena Sundell, a senior guard out of Maryville, became the all-time assist leader at Kansas State. She not only did that, she led her Wildcats into the Sweet 16. In the first tournament game with Fairfield, she scored 18 with 9 assists. Jalen Glenn, the senior out of Barstow, scored 10 and grabbed 4 rebounds. Eliza Maupin, the junior guard out of Webster Groves, only played 6 minutes, but she didn't miss a shot as she scored 5 points in addition to her 2 rebounds. In the round of 32, K-State won in overtime against Kentucky on Kentucky's home court. Again, it was Missouri talent leading the way. Serena scored 19 and added her 14 assists, which made her the program leader. Jalen scored 9 and pulled down 8 rebounds. Across the court for Kentucky was Sanaya Tyler, a junior guard out of Incarnate Word Academy. She got 2 rebounds in their first game against Liberty, and then she got a point and a rebound against Kansas State. Murray State, as the 11 seed, lost in the round of 64 to Iowa. In the game for the Racers were 2 Missouri freshmen. Grace Billington, a freshman out of Moberly, got a point on a free throw, and Adalyn Kelling, a freshman out of Helias, also saw her first NCAA tournament action. Creighton opened the tournament against number 8 seeded Illinois, losing 66-57. Kennedy Townsend, a junior guard from Park Hill, scored 3 points and got a rebound. Brooke Luttrell, the prolific scorer out of Green City and at Missouri, at Central Missouri, closed out her stellar career by getting 2 rebounds while blocking 2 shots. We will close out our NCAA tournament coverage by looking at men's and women's Division II. Washburn University advanced to the Elite 8 in Division II by defeating Minnesota State at Moorhead 93-65. Braden Shorter, a sophomore guard out of Kickapoo, scored 21 by hitting 5 trays and pulling down 9 rebounds. Missouri St. Louis fell in the D2 Sweet 16 to Lake Superior State University. Leading the Tritons to the Sweet 16 were several Missourians. In that game, Matt Enright, a junior guard out of Webster Groves, led all scorers with 29 points, hitting 5 threes. Zay Purvey, a freshman also out of Webster Groves, scored 4. In the women's Division II tournament, Pittsburgh State earned their way to the Elite Eight. To get there, they defeated Southwest Minnesota State. In that game, Hannah Nilgis, a senior out of Jefferson City, contributed 2 points and 5 rebounds. Savannah Campbell, a junior out of Rolla, scored 4 while pulling down 6 rebounds. And that wraps up all the action by Missouri athletes in the NCAA tournaments as of today.
Outstanding. And today is March the 26th, 2025, episode 50 of Where Are They Now Wednesdays. And on this date, would be remiss not to mention happy birthday to Caleb Love, who is on this list. And today is his birthday. Hey, for everybody out there, again, do us a favor. Tell one person, hey, go to our website and subscribe. Go to YouTube and subscribe. Go to our Facebook and like us on Facebook, and you will be the smartest fan in the stands. That puts a wrap on Where Are They Now Wednesdays, episode 50 here on March the 26th. Everybody have a great week, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday